It is Saturday, August 29, 2020. Today's episode number 55, Simplifying Tax Filings with an Umbrella LLC. This is the 39.6 Facebook Live Finance Show, the show that teaches high-income earners like yourself how to make your money work for you so you don't have to work for your money. We talk taxes, investing, retirement accounts, real estate syndications, Airbnb, and even the car you drive. All right, so we have been doing taxes all day today. Well, not all day. Took the kids out to the park, came back. I got all my hairs cut for the first time since early March. So it's been over 5 months since I got my hair cut. This is the longest it had been in about, since probably 2005. About 15 years ago. So a long time ago. I basically feel like I'm lighter now. But we worked on taxes basically all day since then. My wife and I, we actually sat down and went through, back up. It's August 29th. We haven't filed our taxes yet. We should have, but we have not. Any of our taxes. And we own a bunch of entities, and we have to do our personal return, and we haven't filed anything except for extensions. So this is really getting to the wire. This is the closest we've come to being late for the September 15th extension business deadline. But my wife and I actually sat together and went through over 100 pages of tax documents given back to us by our CPA. So we already submitted everything. Okay, and we got it back a few weeks ago. We haven't been able to go through it. So we're not like at that stage of like getting stuff together. That was all sent months ago. But we have to go through it and make sure that everything makes sense and stuff I understand, make sure that we don't find any mistakes. So this year we did a conversion, or for 2019 rather, and we are filing with our entities in a different way. So in 2018, we filed like 4 different business entities. We have one that's like our asset manager. We have one that holds our single family properties. We have one that holds our multifamily syndication investments where we're limited partners. And then we also have one more that holds our general partner shares. If you're out there and you can hear me, please let me know. I forgot to check with this. So if you're out there, please just confirm that audio and video are working. So that was how we had been filing for a couple of years. And it was a little bit of a nuisance having so many tax filings and having to pay for filing for everyone. Our accountant charges like $750 for every business return. So that would be like $3,000 just for the filings and prep. But even if it was like a very, very easy return, it was still $750 if we had a business that didn't really do anything that year. And we had to file all these different documents, sign all these different documents. It was more paperwork than it was necessarily worth. So in 2019, we moved all of our entities underneath another entity. So basically, those 4 entities are now all single member LLCs. So they only have one person or one member on top of it and is all owned by one entity below it. One entity above it. So we have now like an umbrella LLC, and all of those businesses all point up to the umbrella, and they are all single member LLCs below it. You can also call them disregarded entities because the IRS basically says, oh, you're a single member LLC. We just pass on forward up to whoever owns that. So it could actually go up multiple levels. Now we have this umbrella entity, which is nice. And I didn't actually know how this was going to work until I got the tax return given back to me. And so we have this huge stack. It's like 73 pages just for this one entity. And it has many pages of different things, but I was trying to figure out how it was actually going to work out with everything flowing in. So basically, a lot of it just kind of gets compiled in. There are some sections where it's divided by each different entity, but then other things where it's concatenated, and it all goes onto Form 1065, which is a partnership tax return. And that 1065 has the income and real estate income or losses and expenses all listed there. All the depreciation schedules are attached in the back of this. Everything is there. Okay. So that's all in one single entity. Now from there, it flows up to whoever the owners of that entity are. Now that could be another single member. The umbrella could be a single member LLC, and in which case it would just go directly to the people. Ours is a little bit complicated because we have some trusts on top. So we have the single member entity has, the umbrella entity has like a trust and another trust on top of it. So the umbrella entity has to give a K1 to the members, okay, that own that entity. But it's made it simpler. So instead of having 4 different tax filings for our businesses, now we basically have our one umbrella entity, and then we have one of our trusts. Okay, and we were going to need to start filing for the trust anyhow. So now we have 2 tax filings, but we really only have one that has like everything in it. Then the rest of it is K1s that get distributed to us and the trusts. And it's just made it a little bit simpler. I'm not a tax professional. I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving any advice about how this works, but it is a way to kind of simplify things because you really only have like one main tax return. And let's pretend you're just a single person and you have this umbrella LLC, and that could be a single member LLC that would go up to you. Basically, you could have all these LLCs flow up to that one umbrella and then flow to you, and you would just have to file for your personal return, and you would have no business filings at all. It would all get put onto Schedule E or Schedule. Actually, I think it would always flow up to Schedule E because that's where the K1s go to, I believe. Even if it's active income, but I'm not 100% certain. So yeah, you could just do it that way, but it has been a way to make our lives easier. So going forward, we have to still file our personal return. We're going to file for our umbrella entity, and we are going to also file for our irrevocable trust, which is one of the members of that umbrella. We also have a revocable trust in there, but the revocable trust is just going to flow to us, so to our personal return. All right, so that is it for today's episode, episode number 55. This is a tax one just because we spent all day on taxes. We're going to send it back to our CPA. I think there's going to be a little bit of revision, and then it will be out before September 15th. Then we need to do our personal return. So hopefully this gets done soon. Again, this is not to be construed as tax, legal, financial, or any other formal advice. This is simply for entertainment. This is brought to you by the Medicine, Money, and Marriage podcast. No, Medicine, Marriage, and Money podcast. Coming at you September 14, 2020. Until tomorrow for episode 56. Have a good one.